Hi everyone, it's Nicole here from Sydney English Teacher, and I just wanted to say thank you for joining me for episode 5 of my Question of the Day series. I hope you're finding it really helpful so far and that you've learnt a lot of tips, great advice, and useful suggestions to help you improve your English learning journey. Are you ready for today's question? Well, today the question is, should I focus on US or UK English? Should I focus on American English or British English? Well, that's a really, really good question. And unfortunately, that is something that a lot of people focus on. A lot of people believe that you have to learn American English or you have to learn British English. Well, I'm here today to tell you that that is not a very good idea at all. And I will tell you what you should do instead. Are you ready? Tip number 1, focus on international English. That's right. International English is the key to success. You really should not think of English as being location specific. You know, English is not a location based language anymore. It has become so international. It is the language that is spoken or expected all around the world. Thanks to the internet, thanks to movies, thanks to the media, English is the language now. So the goal really should not be for you to learn British English or American English, but instead, you need to learn the English that is used all around the world. The English of native English speakers, but also the English of non English native speakers. So it's your job when you're learning English or when you're listening to English and practicing, it's your job to become familiar with different accents. You will close the door if you focus on just one type of English. I teach international English all the time, even though I'm Australian. The most important thing is when it comes to speaking, when it comes to pronunciation, when it comes to listening, you need to expose yourself to many different types of English. And that should be the goal. English is not just British or American. You're really closing the door there and what should I say, taking away a lot of opportunities. So remember, international English is the goal and is the key to success. Do you agree with me? I hope so. Number 2, don't mix and match. What do I mean by that? When it comes to writing, okay, you need to make a decision about which form you are going to use. In terms of spelling, there's obviously differences between British English and American English in that situation. Your job is to stick to one type of spelling there. You can't mix the spelling for British English and American English all together in the same sentence or in the same paragraph. Keep it standard. And the best advice, I suppose, when it comes to writing is maybe stick to British English there because that is like the standard of English writing almost around the world. Yes, okay, American English. Lots of people focus on American English writing. However, most of the world does follow the format of British English when it comes to spelling. So never mix and match. Don't have the spelling of one word the American way and of the next word the British way because it's just too confusing. Stick to one when you're writing. don't mix and match. Number 3, I'd like you, instead of thinking and focusing about British English or American English, focus on communication. Yeah, really good tip, You will never have a British accent. You will never have an American accent. And why would you want to? You know, unless you learn a language under the age of 7, you will never 100% lose your own accent from your own language because it's part of you. So don't even try to copy a British accent or an American accent or any other accent for that matter. Instead, focus on communication. Focus on speaking as clearly as possible. Focus on communicating and on feeling comfortable in your own skin. It's all about speaking clearly, slowly, naturally, confidently, so that other people understand you. You don't want to sound British. You don't want to sound American. That's not you. Make your own speaking style, I suppose, and communicate the best you can with your own voice in your own skin. The goal is, I suppose, to sound neutral. And that means that when you open your mouth, people don't know where you come from. That's the goal. As long as you speak English clearly and you're able to communicate and say what you want, that should be the goal. Sounds good, doesn't it? Number 4, the fourth tip for today is there are other types of English in the world. The world is not just about British English and American English. So don't narrow English down to just those two groups. There are many other places in the world where English is actually the native language. Like, okay, we have America, we have Britain, but we also have Canada, Australia, New Zealand. These are what we call the big five places where English is the native language. We actually call it the Anglosphere, if you want to know the technical term there. So, British English, American English, Canadian English, Australian English, New Zealand English, they are all native languages of English, native forms of the English language. But there are many other countries around the world where English has become a majority language. They still have their native language, but English has become the majority. Most of the people speak English, or even the main language in some situations, in business, in the workplace. Even though they have their own native language, English is the language for the workplace. Or in some countries, English is the official second language, or even, what should we say, the official language when it comes to school, perhaps. So look, don't narrow it down. Think of the fact that there are other types of English, whether they're native or non-native English forms, but other places in the world speak English. Don't close the door and just focus on British English or American English, because the world is your oyster if you think of English as being international and of communicating clearly. Excellent. So, what did we learn today? The key points I want you to remember are: English is international. Okay, so learn the English that is used around the world. Don't learn the English that is specific to just one location. Number 2, stick to just one form when it comes to writing. So don't mix and match the spelling and the writing. Use either one form or the other form, but don't mix them all together. Number 3, Focus on communication. Don't copy, don't imitate. Instead, focus on speaking clearly and finding your own voice. That's what it's all about. Be yourself. And number four, remember that English is a world language. It's a native language, a majority language, a main language, a second language, and an official language in many, many, many other places, not just in Britain and in America. So, a quick bonus tip from me. Think about this. The more that you think of English as a global language, the better you will be able to communicate with other people around the world. And more excitingly, the more doors will open to you. How amazing is that? So, English is global, is international. And if you continue to learn with me, you'll definitely be learning international English. Exciting. So I hope that that really helped you today. If you have any other questions about learning the English language, or you want some tips or advice about what to do, please ask me. I'm here to help, and I'm coming live to you every day, Monday through to Friday, on my Facebook page and on my YouTube channel. So visit www.sydneyenglishteacher.com.au/ask a question, and you can ask me anything and I'll answer it for you. I might even include your question on a future episode. Sounds good. So, if you'd like to learn more, please come and join me in my learning community. I have a lot of free learning options there for you. I've got my website and my blog with hundreds of articles and free advice there. My online courses and learning library are coming really, really, really soon. I can't wait to share them with you. Obviously, we also have my Facebook page, Sydney English Teacher, and my Facebook group, The Successful English Learner by Sydney English Teacher. And the YouTube channel is full of hundreds and hundreds of learning videos for you to access about every topic of the English language you can imagine. So come and join my learning community and learn with me. I'd be more than happy to help you achieve English language success. So thank you for joining me today for this live session. Whether you joined me live or whether you joined me for the replay, I thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to let me help you and to listen to my advice. If you found it helpful, please share this video with family and friends so that they can learn and improve their English skills and their confidence as well. Thank you, everyone, and I will see you again soon for episode number 6.